What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report. It is Sunday, the 5th of May, 2020. Wow, we didn't die this week. But I've got a packed report to give you here. Let's get to it. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. Let's take a look at the numbers. First off, we got 3,421,000 cases worldwide, 243,000 dead in the United States. We have over 1 million cases now, 1,100,030 with 66,224 dead. I'll put a link to the latest numbers, the official numbers, if anyone cares. All kinds of news. President Trump says he won't be extending the federal government's social distancing guidelines. They expired on Thursday, so now states are in charge of deciding when we're going to open up. There's protests all over the place. I got links coming up on that. While Trump minimizes the toll, government orders 100,000 new body bags. That from NBC New York. I wonder what for. Put a link to that. Daily Mail puts this out. Top coronavirus model predicts 100,000 Americans dead by the end of the summer. Summer's first wave, as death toll passes Trump's best case scenario, 600,000 dead. Put a link to that. Fauci says testing. Fauci stresses testing as inevitable second coronavirus wave looms. Well, he would know, wouldn't he? That from the New York Post. Speaking of how he would know, paid for the damn virus that's killing us. Giuliani rips Fauci over grants to Wuhan laboratory. That came out April 26th from the Washington Examiner. Bloomberg puts this out. Trump orders meat plants to stay open and move. Union slams, meat shortage, food shortages all over the place. I'll put a link to these. Americans on the cusp of meat shortage with food chain breaking down. Put a link to this from Bloomberg. We got nearly 900 workers at Tyson Foods plant in Indiana test positive for coronavirus. This is just one story of many going on across the nation. People getting sick at food processing plants. Tyson Foods, meanwhile, offers $1,000 bonus to return to Corona factories. You want to go to work for Tyson? $1,000 bonus. Might get Corona. I don't know. Fire at poultry farm kills nearly 300,000 chickens. There seems to be an ongoing effort to actually reduce the food. I'll put a link to this. 2 million chickens will be killed in plants in Delaware and Maryland due to lack of employees. All this agenda on the food. I wonder what's going on. You know why? Because when people get hungry and are starving in the streets, people will be begging for the New World Order. That's just my opinion. Happening in Canada as well. Canada meat and potato problem. Coronavirus pandemic hits food supply chain in Canada. Be advised, my friends to the north. And 18 workers at Chicago Tootsie Roll factory test positive for COVID. Not the Tootsie Rolls. Over to the financial sector. How the major U.S. stock indexes fared on Friday. It looks like the Dow Jones was down 622.03 for the week. The Dow lost 51.58. So, kind of a stagnant week for the Dow. Who knows what will happen next week. U.S. jobless claims hit 30 million in 6 weeks. 30 million jobless. Put a link to that. NPR puts this out written due today, but millions of Americans won't be paying. Telling you people, the economic fallout that's going to come from this is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen in our lifetimes. Delays trying to sign up for unemployment. People have no food. People are talking about suicide. Yeah, wait till people are hungry and in the streets. And they're going to be begging for the New World Order. Indiana postal worker may have been fatally shot over delayed stimulus check. People killing postal workers for not bringing them their stimulus checks like they have something to do with it. U.S. economy takes biggest hit since Great Recession, falling at 4.8%. That from the New York Post. Yahoo Finance puts this out. Wealthiest Americans ranking in billions from coronavirus pandemic. Well, some people are getting rich off this. I bet they own a lot of stocks and pharmaceuticals. What do you want to bet? Put a link to that. And Nashville Local 5. The mayor there proposed budget includes 32% property tax increase. Yes, who do you think is going to pay for all this? It's going to be unlike anything we've seen in history, people. I'll put a link to this. Got a couple more. The next chapter of the oil crisis, industry shuts down. That from Yahoo Finance. Indeed, we are moving into the end game. 27 tankers anchored off California, 100 off Singapore, as oil industry shuts down. That from Zero Hedge. Coronavirus will hasten the decline of cash. Yeah, everybody's going to go to plastic. How about we put a chip in your hand? That way there's no contact at all. That from the BBC. And Shanghai gold boss wants super sovereign currency for post-crisis to get rid of the U.S. dollar. Over to New World Order and Police State News. GOP lawmakers reject Michigan's virus order, but she's unfazed. I'll put a link to this from local media. Yeah, what's going on up in Michigan? Check it out. Hundreds of protesters, some carrying guns, and state capitol demonstrate against Michigan's emergency measures. They took guns into the Capitol. People are only going to take so much of this shit. You're seeing people start to react now. Right on, go Michigan. Governor set to close all beaches and state parks in California. How could you possibly enforce that? That comes after tens of thousands defy authoritarian lockdown order and flock to SoCo beaches amid heat wave. How are you going to tell all these people they can't be in the ocean? Who owns the ocean? You have a right as a human being to enjoy the ocean. We got California cops heckled as they tell 93-year-old couple they can't sit in chairs on the beach. Yes, these cops come up and bother this 93-year-old couple. You can't have chairs on the beach. I'll put a link to it. Does this shit piss you off, people? Because it pisses me right off. Stay apart outdoors this weekend. NYPD won't tolerate distancing violations during the nice weather. Oh, the NYPD won't tolerate it? Really? Houston Chronicle puts this out. Orders Harris County residents to wear masks in public. Draws fire from police unions and GOP. You must wear a mask. This is going on all over the United States. I think this one's out of Texas. You must wear a mask if you go out of your house. What country is this again? Illinois rule means family can only legally be in their boat when it's in the garage. Yeah, not more than 2 people on a boat. So if you have 4 family members living in your house and you want to get in your boat, you can only do it while you're sitting in your garage. Interesting story here. Your family cannot go out on the family boat. 2 people only. What's happening here? I gotta stop getting upset because I got so much to give you. I'll never get through it all. Jackson mayor suspends open carry. Yeah, check it out. Jackson mayor suspends open carry law because of COVID-19. That's one for the show me, baby. I'd love his opinion on that. More than 1,000 models of assault-style weapons now prohibited in Canada. The Prime Minister of Canada has taken this mass shooting that they had last week or whatever and used it as an opportunity to ban assault weapons. I would love to know what my brothers and sisters to the north have to say about that. This would be a terrible time. This would be a terrible crisis to waste. Hillary Clinton admits Dems are using coronavirus to advance radical socialist agenda. Yeah, no crap, right? Rahm Emanuel said the same thing years ago. Never want to let a good crisis go to waste. What the F is this? Clintons want to recruit an army of contact tracers that will hunt down infected individuals and interrogate them as to who they associate with. Are you ready for the contact tracers to come in? CDC to go door-to-door antibody testing leaves many weary. They're going door-to-door to collect blood. Will you give up your blood? Do you have a choice? Chicago Health Commissioner tells public a mass vaccination campaign is underway. We've already bought the syringes. Do you people see what's happening here? Red alert, President Trump pivots to mandatory vaccines, jumps in with Big Pharma. No crap! Oh, did you think he was on your side? For people who don't like natural news, I got a mainstream media for you here. Trump's Operation Warp Speed aims to rush coronavirus vaccine. Operation Warp Speed for coronavirus vaccine. China is installing new surveillance cameras outside people's front doors and some in their house right out of the trailer of Gray State. Right up, put a link to this. And do you want to see what the future looks like? Not only in China, but around the world? Leave no dark corner. Check it out. I will put a link to what your future looks like. I am sorry to get so upset, but it is just amazing to watch all these things we've talked about all these years all come in full circle. And where were the haters? Where's all the people that was calling us crazy? Because all I hear is crickets. Over to World War III news. I can do a lot. Trump blames China for COVID-19 and seeking to undermine his re-election. That from RT. We got Trump on U.S. seeking compensation from China over COVID-19. We have not determined a final amount. That from Newsweek. China lashes out at U.S., claims country is lying through their teeth on coronavirus, threatens Australia. I got another link coming up on that. China on high alert as troublemaker U.S. patrols the South China Sea. That from the South China Morning Post. Australia has enraged China after backing Trump's call for an investigation into how the coronavirus pandemic started, and China warns Australia, drop coronavirus probe or pay an economic price. That from Breitbart. I got a few more. U.S. pushed for low-yield nukes, makes atomic war more likely as Russia will retaliate with full force, Moscow says. That from RT. Indeed, Russia threatens U.S. of nuclear response in case of ballistic missile attack. That from a website that I'm not familiar with. From the New York Post, Kim Jong-un's uncle emerges as possible successor to North Korea, but hold the phone! He's alive, maybe. North Korean media releases unverified images of smiling Kim Jong-un in his first public appearance in 20 days. Is he alive or not? I have no idea. We're over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. We have had some rather large 5-point quakes this week. We had the big one, 6.6 in Greece. That was on May 2nd. We also had a 5.2 and a 5.3 aftershock. 5.4 out of Puerto Rico. That was a pretty good one. That made breaking news. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. I didn't see too much on volcanoes this week. I'll put a link to this map if you want to check it out. Asteroid more than a mile wide makes close but safe approach to Earth. Yes, we didn't get hit by the asteroid. Well, that's good news. But we got NASA news. Comet Atlas disintegrates before Hubble telescope. Really exciting. I'll put a link to this. They got some images there of Atlas. But I got a link from IntelliHub says, does NASA data update reveal Comet Atlas will be absorbed by the sun's gravity near the end of May? Well, if it hits as big as it's supposed to be, if it hits the sun, will it send some killer CMEs our way? I don't know. But forget about Comet Atlas. Comet Swan 2020. Space rock now visible to the naked eye. How to see. We got Atlas and Swan coming at us at the same time. Supposed to be here by the end of May. We'll see what happens. And one more. Coronavirus. U.S. Congress abandons return to Washington. I wonder if that's because they've gone underground. There he goes, talking about doomsday again. Over to strange and bizarre news. Belgians urged to eat Fridays twice a week to deplete coronavirus potato mountain. Apparently they don't want all these potatoes to go to waste. Meanwhile, Alex Jones says he's open to cannibalizing his neighbors if lockdown continues. I will eat your ass, he says. No shocker there. 2 men in Georgia, 1 man in Kansas drink liquid cleaning products to ward off COVID-19 after Trump suggested injecting disinfectant into the lungs to combat the virus. I wonder if their families could sue the U.S. government. Fox News puts this out. ABC reporter forgets to wear pants during Good Morning America interview. Oh, noes! Put a link to that. They got video. U.S. doctors have started giving men with coronavirus estrogen in the hopes that boosting their immune systems after finding the virus kills half as many women. Okay. No, thank you. Huh? What? Joe Biden says we need more economic intercourse within the world. What exactly does he mean? Put a link to that. The U.S. Sun puts this out. A sick video shows dancing nurses carrying corpse of coronavirus victim as they copy TikTok. What is going on? This is not the first time we've seen this. These people dancing in hospitals, and now these nurses are carrying a corpse labeled COVID-19. What is this? Students in China wear homemade distancing hats as they return to school. Strap a ruler to your head and you can't come near me. Put a link to that. And I got one more. Drug dealer confronts Uber driver for parking in the drug spot. Are you a cop? Because I sell the drugs. I guess the drug dealer wants to do social distancing. For all other news, please check my favorite videos. I favorited a ton of stuff this week. We got tornado footage over there. The tornado that hit Oklahoma. The Patriot nurse is kicking ass, putting out video after video. Tucker covered the censorship of the doctors. That's coming up in my shout-outs. All kinds of stuff. Thank you to everybody who continues to put out content. All kinds of stuff. Definitely check out my favorites. In shout-outs this week, I got one shout-out, and it has to go to Dr. Erickson. Do you know that video I plugged last week of those 2 doctors in California talking about how it's not good that we're not establishing herd immunity and all this? YouTube pulled that video down. These weren't conspiracy theorists. This was not a conspiracy video at all. It was 2 20-plus year career doctors giving you their opinions on what we should do. YouTube didn't like that because it goes against, the CEO of YouTube said they were going to remove anything that goes against the World Health Organization. Well, that's what they've done. That was a local mainstream video of 2 doctors, 2 professionals. I'll put a link to the story, and this is what they were talking about. Microbiologist testing shows lockdowns are actually harmful. I'll put a link to this from WND if you want to know what they were talking about. And in case you didn't see it, or if you want to see it again, please share it. It's uploaded to BitChute. Dr. Erickson COVID-19 briefing. This is the video that YouTube pulled down. 2 20-plus year career doctors looking at numbers, telling you what they think. Doesn't violate any guidelines or terms of service whatsoever. No conspiracy theory, nothing that says, well, this was caused by this or that. These are doctors. Please watch the video if you haven't seen it. I would just love everybody's opinion on that. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I think it sucked. It's the worst of YouTube. You never want to see it again. Please rate, though. It helps it move around. You can also support me on Patreon or directly with PayPal. I put a lot into these reports. This particular report I worked on for about 12 hours, putting all these links together. But I got to give it to you because it's just madness, and you guys need to be aware of the latest. You can also follow me on BitChute, Twitter, Gab, Facebook. All my links are at the bottom, just in case anything were to happen to this channel. Follow me other places. That way we'll never lose contact. That's all I got, guys. What's coming up this week? Looks like there's going to be protests all over the place as the weather heats up and people are getting more and more pissed off. To the people on law enforcement, you'd better figure out how much tyranny you're willing to enforce on the people of the United States, because the people are now getting pissed, showing up inside state capitol buildings with weapons. You better figure out whose side you're on. Time's short. You guys take care. Stay safe. Have a good week. Take care of each other. I will see you on the next one.